5 effective intermittent fasting methods and their basic principles. Have you recently come across the acronym IF that seems to have flooded Google? Intermittent fasting has quickly become one of the hottest diets around the globe. But where does this insatiable craze for this way of eating come from? To answer this question, we must first understand its principles. Intermittent fasting is not a diet in the true sense of the word. It is rather a way of life, an eating pattern for a certain period of time. The main principle of intermittent fasting is to alternate periods of fasting with periods of normal eating. So far, no serious complications. In fact, there are various modalities of application that allow fasting enthusiasts to eat in a more or less small window of the day. For example, the 16/8 diet, eating only in an 8-hour window and abstaining from food during the other 16 hours of the day, is among the most popular modalities. To fit fasting into their lifestyle, some people choose not to eat in an even smaller window of 6 hours, or even 4 hours. On this channel, we approach health from a holistic perspective, working on the 4 pillars of health: diet, physical activity, mental health and sleep. If you are not yet a subscriber to the YouTube channel, Top Fitness Health, consider subscribing, and if you want to be notified when a new video is released, consider turning on the little bell. Not eating anything during certain parts of the day or week would help you lose weight. But the side effects of such fasting and the risks for some categories of the population are not negligible. Have you ever heard of intermittent fasting? It is a diet that has become increasingly popular in recent years. Fans of this method believe that it helps to lose weight, while critics point out the potential side effects. The principle: do not eat anything during certain periods of the day. Everyone can adapt it to their own way. Technically, the moment of sleep is already a period of intermittent fasting. We therefore try to prolong this fasting, either by eating breakfast very late, or by stopping eating after 6 p.m. Some people practice fasting on alternate days every other day, or once a week. People who successfully use intermittent fasting to lose weight see a decrease in calorie consumption. But some people may be so hungry outside of fasting hours that they negate the caloric deficit by overeating. Some studies also point to other benefits of fasting: improved heart health, increased longevity and reduced risk of asthma and various heart diseases. Listen to your body. Fasting is not suitable for pregnant or breastfeeding women, or for people who suffer or have suffered from an eating disorder. Intermittent fasting can, for example, lead to binge eating. Athletes who want to improve their performance, people with hormonal problems and, of course, people with diseases such as diabetes, should avoid fasting, reminds the Hello Giggles website. The practice can also contribute to stress in people who are sensitive to it. If you want to try intermittent fasting, start slowly to make sure you're still meeting your body's nutritional needs. Wait a few more hours before eating to see how you feel. If you don't feel well, are hungry, or are shaky, stop. If fasting feels natural, great. As long as you listen to your body and don't force things, everything should go well. Why is intermittent fasting good for the body? According to many experts, this practice is extremely beneficial to your overall health. Why? During the controlled fasting phase, the body does not use energy for digestion. However, it does activate the detoxification process, which is not possible during the digestion phase. In addition, fasting improves the process of recycling broken proteins and damaged cells, thus activating a rejuvenation mechanism. This helps renew cells, improve muscle tissue and, therefore, slow down aging. As an added bonus, letting your digestive system rest allows you to manipulate hormones for optimal balance. How does fasting help us lose weight? Intermittent fasting is not a diet in the true sense of the word. It is more of a lifestyle, an eating pattern for a certain period of time. The main principle of intermittent fasting is to alternate periods of fasting with periods of normal eating. So far, no serious complications. In fact, there are a variety of ways in which fasters can eat in a smaller or larger window of the day. To fit fasting into their lifestyle, some people choose not to eat in an even smaller window of 6 hours, or even 4 hours. How does fasting help us lose weight? During the controlled fasting phase, the body draws on its fat stores to produce energy during the period without meals. This is how insulin is lowered and glucagon is increased to provide the body with a reserve of energy. Most of this energy is drawn from glycogen and fat stores. Thanks to fasting, the growth hormone increases, allowing to repair the tissues and to burn fats. We have just explained the principles and the great merits of intermittent fasting. But it remains to examine the various applications under the microscope. So here are 5 of the most popular fasting methods. 1. Martin Berkhan's Leangains intermittent fasting method. As its name indicates, Leangains is a type of intermittent fasting adapted to bodybuilding. Its principle is to allow a better melting of fat but also to gain mass by limiting the gain of fat. Leangains fasting proposes to fast for 16 hours and then eat for 8 hours. The main thing is not to fast for more than 16 hours to give the body the opportunity to take its dose of calories and distribute them well enough. Popularized by Martin Berkhan, this 16/8 method was designed for athletes. It is perfectly adapted to sustained training, particularly because of the natural hormonal manipulation that results. A sustained secretion of growth hormone is obtained on a daily basis, promoting both lipolysis and muscle building. The other interest of this type of fasting consists in the organization of the diet around a daily practice. This allows a quick adaptation to the diet and, consequently, a feeling of hunger quite rare. In order to practice Leangains intermittent fasting, it is very important to eat large, nutritious meals during the feeding period. This way, the feeling of satiety is sufficiently pronounced, which limits any urge to snack at any time. The implementation of the Leangains method is very simple. Skip breakfast and find a feeding window that fits your personal lifestyle. A lot of planning will be required to adapt to the 16/8 fasting, but it is worth it. The disadvantages of Leangains are indeed less numerous. The first week could be a bit complicated, but you adapt relatively quickly and eating only in an 8-hour window becomes natural very quickly. Fasting would be difficult to implement if you have shifting hours or a changing schedule. The other disadvantage is for athletes who have to train early. They will then have to choose between eating early and stopping early or waiting several hours to eat, which can hinder recovery. There is no universal answer to this question, so you have to find the right solution for your goal. 2. Pilon's Eat Stop Eat method. Popularized by fitness expert Pilon, the Eat Stop Eat method consists of fasting for 24 hours, once or twice a week. You can fast from breakfast to breakfast, from lunch to lunch, or from dinner to dinner the next day. It is a matter of personal choice. During the fasting phase, the consumption of non-caloric drinks, water, coffee and tea is allowed. If you follow this diet to lose weight, it is very important to eat normally during the windows dedicated to eating. 24 hours of fasting, either once or twice a week, makes you lose weight and improves your metabolic health. The only drawback of the method is that fasting for a full 24 hours could be very difficult for many people. However, one can start with 12 to 14 hours and gradually lengthen the duration of the fast. 3. The Warrior Diet by Hofmekler. The Warrior Diet is the name of an intermittent fasting method inspired by the warriors of antiquity. Hofmekler's fasting is based on 20 hours of almost total caloric restriction, followed by 4 hours where you can eat in large quantities. The method has 2 obvious advantages. Firstly, the fasting period extended to 20 hours promotes fat loss, especially abdominal fat. Secondly, Eating only one meal a day limits the risk of swallowing too many calories, which is the best way to lose weight. According to some, the greatest advantage of intermittent fasting, warrior, is to eat once a day without worrying about the contents of his plate. By not eating during the day, you manage to optimize your hormonal environment and create an energy deficit that will be filled by the nightly feast. The main disadvantage of this diet is the feeling of hunger. The first week you may be bored, stressed, or simply have the habit of snacking. In order to adapt better, you can start with a less strict diet such as the Leangains method for 1 to 2 weeks, then decrease the eating window. The other difficulty concerns people whose objective is not to lose weight. The other difficulty is for people whose goal is not to lose weight and who need to eat enough calories and nutrients in a single meal. 4. Intermittent fasting, fat loss forever. The Fat Loss Forever method by John Romaniello and Dan Go combines the most effective fasting diets to create the ultimate weight loss plan. A hybrid of the Eat Stop Eat, the Warrior Diet and Leangains fasts, Fat Loss Forever combines the most effective fasting methods to negate the weaknesses of each. Here we are talking about a 7-day diet, consisting of 36 hours of fasting, a cheat day, during which you can eat normally, and 5 days during which you have to alternate the 3 methods of intermittent fasting already mentioned. Fat Loss Forever also includes sports programs to help participants achieve maximum fat loss in the easiest way. The drawback of the method in question is, perhaps, the diet that varies from day to day. However, the schedule accompanying the program indicates how to fast and train each day. 5. Intermittent Fasting, UpDayDownDay. According to the creator of the UpDayDownDay method, James Johnson, it allows you to reach specific goals depending on the participant. The plan is a bit rough, especially for beginners to fasting. It involves eating very little one day, and eating normally the next. It is very important to consider the caloric intake on the low-calorie day, which should be 400 to 500 maximum. Given the calorie deficit caused, the method allows you to lose weight very quickly. Within a week, you can expect similar results, a little over 500 grams for women and up to 1 kilo for men. To facilitate the down days, you can prepare meal replacement shakes, rich in essential nutrients. You can divide your diet into small meals or fast for part of the day, then have lunch or dinner. However, shakes are only allowed during the first 2 weeks. Fasting has long been applied in many civilizations as the most effective way to live long. Nowadays, more accessible and equally effective, intermittent fasting is very easy to adopt as a real lifestyle. If you are not yet a subscriber to the YouTube channel, Top Fitness Health, consider subscribing, and if you want to be notified when a new video is released, consider activating the little bell. See you soon for more videos. And until then, take care of yourself.